Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your February 2023 reading. Thank you for joining me here. I have linked below in the description box a special year ahead forecast, looking at the whole year of 2023 using the tarot for your sign Capricorn. I've also linked a love and relationship reading, which is exclusive to my Patreon there too. Let's get into this reading, and we will be pulling more cards as we go. The first card that I have pulled is this Fool card in reverse. So as you can see in the upright, there is a new beginning emerging for you in February. But in the reversal, we are moving with a lack of foresight. There is short-sightedness here. So at the beginning of the month, you maybe felt that you were rushing into something, you were being pressured into something, you were being forced, or you're rushed into making a move on something that you just really weren't ready to do yet. There is a hastiness here, jumping the gun energy. You may have felt that at the beginning of the month, something that you hoped was already underway would have been steady at this point, would have been more enduring, but it's actually chopping, changing. It is rushed, it's hasty, it just doesn't feel energetically aligned for you yet. So meanwhile, I still see the Fool card as a fresh start, new chapter and storyline emerging for you soon, Capricorn. I just don't feel like you are fully ready yet, and the beginning of the month makes that somewhat clear to you. We have just had a full moon in the sign of Leo on the 5th of February. So it is around the 5th of February that I'm picking up on some sort of chaotic and hectic energy. Now, on one hand, Capricorn, if you are the creative type, this is actually pretty wonderful because it pushes you outside your comfort zone. If you've been hoping to play it safe, this doesn't seem like it's been a very comfortable time for you. If you've looked to be more conservative with your time, your energy, your values, your money, it seems like you have been pushed to spend on certain things, to give an answer, to create something where there's a time limit on it or there's a pressure there. So that hasn't been the most enjoyable. I would say that the beginning of February has been a little chaotic, energetically, kind of restless, confusing. So we're going to pull more cards and get into it. As the month continues, we are stepping into High Priestess energy. However, it is also reversed. Notice that this is number 0, the Fool card, and the High Priestess is number 2. Both cards considered together would suggest, I suppose, that even though things are kind of chaotic, choppy, changey, even if you don't feel ready, or you're kind of just being like ceremony of fire, just like, or baptism of fire, I should say, just like pushed out to the limit on something, there is still what goes along with that, the beginning stages of something. Either way, February represents more of a month of beginnings, fresh starts, initiation, being pushed to the limit, being pushed outside your comfort zone, whether you're ready or not. That's my kind of take on this. The High Priestess would also suggest, again, a short-sightedness. You just don't fully see the big picture yet. Okay, and we will get to see, by pulling more cards, how you can zone in on what is actually important this month. So let's move on to the Queen of Cups. So far, only upright position here, or card rather. I do have the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck too. So a romantic relationship seems to take front and center in this month too. There is a very important love connection in your life at the moment. It's supportive, it's growth orientated, it's enduring, it's passionate, and it's very alive. So that really does tell me that February is a good month for love, relationships, and dating for you. But we'll go deeper into these messages. What I will say is, I'll take out the King of Cups actually so we can look at the relationship in your life. I've got a full reading on that linked below, like I said. And I know that love and relationships does not apply to everybody right now, so just take what resonates and leave the rest. But the Queen of Cups, she is standing in the midst of rainfall and downpour. I know that if she scooped up the water here, that cup would get filled a lot quicker than just waiting for the rain to fall. But that's not really the point. There's a point of acceptance, of patience, of faith, Eventually this will be filled. There is no rush and it's not going anywhere. There's nothing that's running out. So there's no scarcity mindset here with this Queen of Cups. As you end the month, you're actually in a much more aligned, receptive, and free-flowing state of being. Everything that you want at the end of the month, you don't really need to force it anymore. You don't need to just feel like you must act or else you lose your chance, or even before you're ready, you just have to take the plunge like you maybe did at the beginning of the month. The High Priestess is also here in reverse, saying you'll no longer have these suspicions, you'll no longer have the doubts and paranoia that you may even be seeing creep up right now when you're watching it. You aren't sure about somebody's motives, you're not sure about the partnerships you're in. I see that romantic relationships, you have a strong sense of security there, which is beautiful. The Queen of Cups again talks to any creatives out there, anyone who's nurturing a project, anybody who is desiring more love in their life. You are in a framework of accepting and in a sort of readiness mindset. And it's kind of just the patience, holding your cup up and being willing to receive what comes to you when it's meant to, and really sinking into the flow as well as oftentimes the ebb. But it seems like right now at the beginning of the month you're in the ebb, and by the end of the month that flow is a little easier for you. Okay. The Magician, interesting. The card in between coming out upright. So now we have 0 and 2, but we've got our 1. So, the Magician card. You have the power to call the shots right now. It's up to you to make a decision. It's up to you right now, I'm hearing, to stand your ground on something. It is going to test you. It's going to be difficult, but it's about principles. It's about resisting. So you do not have to take the plunge. And some of you have already done it. Somebody maybe has already made the mistake or the poor decision. That's okay. Nothing is permanent. You're going to get a chance to rectify. But in order to rectify, I think you need to say this time, like, no, I won't be rushed, or I need time to think on that, okay? So that's something that's coming through. But yeah, interesting that the Magician came out. Could be a reminder for those who need right now that you're more powerful than you believe. This color scheme is coming through really clearly too. It could be a time like this shirt I'm wearing to be wearing a color orange or pink or red. It may help you feel more powerful. Let's have a look at the Fool card in reverse, and we're going to clear up what's been going on for you at the beginning of February. So the intro of the month, we saw that Leo full moon, a great time for channeling the chaos into something more creative, but it seems like it's been a busy and hectic, rushed, restless beginning of the month for you, Capricorn. We have your energy, the Queen of Pentacles, however in reverse, and also the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Somebody was putting an awful lot of pressure on you. It could have been you, alternatively, Capricorn, that was pressurizing somebody else and kind of forcing somebody to give you an answer. Force, the Strength card at the bottom of the deck, dominance, kind of pressure and making someone do something, making them prove themselves to you, or making somebody, like, pushing them to their limit, pushing them outside of their comfort zone. This can be helpful to people. Oftentimes it's really rewarding to be pushed out of their comfort zone or your own comfort zone, but you know how uncomfortable it can be too, and especially if it's done with a certain amount of force, or even like there is a vindictiveness here I'm seeing with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. There's themes that I would advise looking out for, which could be harshness. There could be spite with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. These are not good karmic energies to get tied up with at this time, and some of you have already kind of gone for this, so that's something. But the other thing could be that there is just this feminine energy in your life, perhaps, that really does put pressure on you, or kind of makes you wanna, just like abandon all your plans, and it's not productive, and they kind of make you feel unproductive, or that's how you pick them up. Also, some of you maybe didn't make the best investment with some of your money recently. The Fool card is an impulse, and the Queen of Pentacles is about sturdiness and groundedness. It's also really materially prosperous, but in reverse, it seems like some of you have already made a poor investment or spent their money in a kind of reckless manner. Reckless spending coming up, poor investments. However, the Page of Pentacles says that there is still hope for this situation. If you're dealing with another person and you have already had your wires crossed with them, seen a different side to them, or if you yourself have acted out of character, it's not too late to make amends, and that's how we do it via the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles will reach out and make the first move to communicate with somebody else. They will speak their truth. They will do it in a gentle way. They will have all the facts and all the data before approaching a situation. So communication is the way to mitigate anything that has already gone wrong this week. Speak out, research, study, keep asking questions, keep an open mind and be curious. I know it hasn't been the easiest start to the month, especially in terms of resources or dealing with perhaps another earth sign or an Aquarius. I'm seeing that things could have been tricky with the Virgo, Taurus, or Aquarius, or even Capricorn at the beginning of the month. So there's been something to do with your home and living situation coming through, Capricorn too, where you have just felt like that things at home got really tense, especially with the feminine energy, or in the home and living situation, you had to make a really hasty call and just like take the plunge on something without having all the data, without having all the facts. And now you are just feeling like, oh, I wish I waited on that, basically. So then you begin to distrust your own intuition. As the month progresses, you start to have doubts. You start to say to yourself like, oh, I thought you had better intuition, Capricorn. I thought you knew how to trust in that. And the High Priestess is suggesting to me that you're not seeing the forest for the trees, and there is a bit of short-sightedness here. So let's try and clear up what this is all about. I will do a special message for those in a romantic partnership at the end of this reading, because I know that that won't apply to everybody. So stay tuned if you want to hear a tidbit on your romantic relationship too. Let's clear up the High Priestess in reverse. Now would be a great time to subscribe to this channel. It would really be so appreciated. But I want to especially thank all my current subscribers. The 9 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, the Tower at the bottom of the deck. All right. Suspicions and paranoia seem to be heightened for the rest of the month. I see that this alleviates around the 20th. The energy begins to soften when the sun moves into Pisces, and there is that new moon in Pisces on the 20th of February. Until then, essentially buckle up. It's not far away, but the Tower indicates some turbulence, perhaps. There is this propensity with the Tower to suggest that there are certain foundations that aren't particularly stable anymore, and you might be relying too much on that foundation. That foundation could be a reputation, it could be an idealized goal or a relationship or job, but it isn't actually going to support your growth long term. And sometimes we don't know this in the time. And sometimes if we resist this, even when our intuition is trying to speak to us, we can, again, form codependency there. So between now and around the 20th, the energy is going to resemble some sort of a pressure cooker in your life. It's going to be here to teach you to trust more in your intuition. You've been rushed recently. You've been having to make decisions on things that are impactful, that when you look back, you're like, I shouldn't have done that. And I wouldn't have done that if I had more time or more Page of Pentacles knowledge, or if I wasn't in such a tight spot financially, or if, you know, having a safe and thriving home and living situation didn't depend so much on these decisions. So they're very baseline and important factors that we were trying to preserve and conserve that really ended up being something that you've put at risk in a sense. The Fool card in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Recently you've been listening to people that do not have your best interests at heart. So the High Priestess and the Tower coming up between now and the 20th is here to basically tell you, like, the pressure is going to rise. So for that reason, it's really vital that you listen to your inner voice, your intuition, and trust in your gut. The High Priestess wouldn't be appearing unless you were a highly intuitive person, but anxiety is beginning to overwhelm the Nine of Swords. Fears, stresses, shame, and other low vibrational energetic frequencies, staying very much down in the lower chakra colors. And these are the colors of the lower chakra, like I was saying to you earlier, those deeper reds and oranges. So when we are when there's a block past basically the root chakra to the solar plexus, then we're not able to see the bigger picture. We're not able to have a clear head or intuit our path, because the base two frequencies, our chakras rather, are very primal. They're focused very much on sex, pleasure, eating, drinking, sleeping, feeling secure. They are all very important things, and they are very primal, animalistic things. But as humans, we are supposed to be able to transcend those chakras. Right now, there's such a focus in your life on a place to live, the bills, the fundamentals, food on the table, safety and security and warmth, that we are, you know, collectively even experiencing this. I think not just for the sign of Capricorn, I think that this is a focus for many people at this time, but it is stopping the sort of willpower or the love frequency or the intuition to be as easily accessed. So lower vibrational emotions such as guilt, shame, blame are coming through, and they are coming through to be cleared. Sometimes you have to really immerse yourself in that pressure cooker in order to feel free and liberated on the other side. Plus things have been getting heavy, right? The 10 wands stacked on your shoulder. You've been carrying a weight for a while, Capricorn. You may know what this weight you've been carrying is. I don't necessarily think it's all just a physical toll or labor. It could be something emotional or mental. It could be something psychological, something you have been carrying. It's heavy, it's burdensome, it kind of brings about feelings of shame or guilt or anxiety, and anything that builds up on that and keeps to rise, and the pressure keeps going, and it gets to look like some sort of a crisis point or a critical turning point. Just know it's to clear that pressure. Just know that it is to bring you closer to being able to trust in your intuition. A helpful affirmation maybe for between now and February may just be to say that I am surrounded by trustworthy people. This includes yourself. You have to trust yourself as well as the people around you, and it all goes hand in hand. So before pulling a card for your relationship, I just want to see what that Queen of Cups could be talking about otherwise. The Queen of Cups tells me that the energy softens for you massively around that full new moon, rather in Pisces on the 20th. So with the energy softening and you being able to receive more love, more ease, more flow, more joy, this just kind of helps you get into things that actually you enjoy, like nurture the things that are more sort of fertile in your life at this moment. We have the Four of Swords and the Three of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, I have that Magician again. So the Magician again this time is saying, yes, you have the power. You really have to stand your ground. That's what it keeps saying, for me at least. You must stand your ground. You must demonstrate willpower. You must demonstrate that you are not going to give up, that you're going to continue to work hard. And this is why the Magician cards keep showing up, to remind you of your power, okay? The 3 and 4 of Swords coming through with the Queen of Cups. I get the impression that tears will be shed. Sometimes tears can be those of joy, gratitude, and relief, right? They don't always have to be sabotage or betrayal or grief or missing somebody or loneliness. The Queen of Cups tells me that this crying is going to be very cleansing and therapeutic for you. The 3 of Swords tells me that after the experience of hearing whatever makes you upset, or moving through the experience that whatever it is causes this sort of sense of ouch, that hurts, 4 of Swords comes next. Peace and inner peace and reflection and understanding. There's a lot of wisdom gained for you, and I think the Magician keeps kind of trying to remind us here that you have more power in this situation, in this lifetime, forever than you believe and that we're taught to believe. So let's look at a bonus message for this relationship, just because I think the King and Queen of Cups together are signaling to me a really strong, committed and beautiful relationship in your life right now. Even if it isn't a romantic relationship, one of those friendships, one of those family bonds, even a work connection, really it's thriving and bringing you a lot of happiness. I hope so, Capricorn. You deserve it. Could be one of your children. The 6 of Wands. This relationship is showing signs of victory and harmony. It could be for some of you looking to move home together, move into a home together, move country together. This looks like a cabin in the sort of wilderness. So this could be a couple's retreat or a vacation you take. This could be a family vacation. This is a successful omen for the current relationship you find yourself in. That affirms what I thought, that it's headed for victory more or less. Capricorn, thank you so much for watching. Check out the links below in the description box if you want to see some more of your latest readings from me. But if not, if that's all you're tuning in for, I really do appreciate it. I'll see you soon.